Graphing linear equations. So if you've not watched the video on how to find solutions in an equation, you want to watch that first. But the coordinates that make the following equations true are called solutions to the equation. And what we want to do first is find some of the solutions for this equation. What we're basically doing is graphing all of the solutions. So if you have x plus y equals 10, we know one solution would be 5 and 5, because 5 plus 5 equals 10. We could also have 4 and 6, because 4 plus 6 equals 10. And we could have 3 and 7, because 3 plus 7. And there are 3 solutions. And what you do to graph is you take those solutions and you plot them. So this is a point. And then that's a point. And that's a point. Remember, it's the x and the y. That's our x-axis. That's our y. So we go out 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for x, and 5 for y. Put a point. Go out 4 and 6, 3 and 7. And then that is our graph. Make it nicer. Don't know if I'm going to get it pretty, but right there. There we go. Good enough. And that's the graph of that line. If there's no exponents, it's just an x and a y, or just a y, or just an x, it's going to be a linear equation. It's just going to be a straight line. And how do you know this? Well, look at our points. They're all lining up. And if you pick any other solution, like let's try 2 and 8. Let's go to 2 and then at 8, right there on the line. You could do 10 and 10. 10 and, where are we at? Sorry, not 10 and 10, that would be 20. 10 and 0. 0 and 10. They're always going to be the points on the line. If you find all the solutions to this equation, they are the line. Even the fractions, 4.5, 5.5, it's right there. And that's why they create a straight line. This is all we're doing with graphing. We're finding all the solutions to that little equation. It's right over here. And we're putting them on a grid. And these are all the answers to that equation. These are all the possible answers to that equation. Alright, that's it. So you just find 3 answers, plot them on a graph, draw a line through them, and the rest of the answers will show up from that. Alright, remember, if we have a y equals 2x plus 3, you're supposed to pick 3 points, just like we did when we did solutions. See, same ones. You plug in 3 values. So we plugged in 0, gives us 3. We plug in 1, gives us 5. We plug in 2, gives us 7. So we get 0, that was 3. Plug in 1, gives us 5. Plug in 3, gives us 7. And again, if this doesn't make sense, go back and watch the video on finding solutions. And then we plot those points, so 0, 3, 1, and 5. Did I really pick 3? 2, not 3. 2. 2 and 7. And you notice they make a straight line. What if they don't make a straight line? Alright, and what if the 3 points that you found do not make a straight line? Well, that means you made a mistake, and that's the reason we're picking 3 points. In order to graph a line, 2 points define a line. That's it. But we pick a third to make sure that we did not make any mistakes. It doesn't mean that we're 100% true, because if we make 2 mistakes and they cancel each other, it's still wrong. But it should be true, and the way you can keep checking it is to pick other numbers. So like if you plugged in -1, 2 times -1, be -2 plus 3 is 1. So at -1, we should get 1. Remember, these are all of the solutions. Alright, so let's go back to this one. We plugged in 0, 2, and 4 because the denominator is 2. And then the answers we got were 1, 0, -1. So we plugged in 0, 2, and 4. We got 1, 0, -1. So if we plot those, we get 0, 1, 2, 0, and then 4, -1. If you notice, it's keeping that nice clean pattern. And there you go. That is our line. And that's it. That's for graphing linear equations. So what I want you to do now is that problem you did from the solution, right over here, from finding solutions, the y equals 3/5 x minus 4. I want you to take your little table that you made, and I want you to graph those points that you just found. So the y equals 3/5 x minus 4. I want you to rewrite the 3 solutions that you found. And then over here, graph it. Alright, hit pause and do that now. And it should look something like that. Hopefully your graph looks a lot better than mine. My pen makes me draw like a first grader. But that's what you should have gotten. It should have been that similar type shape. Alright, we have 2 more types of graphing. And if you notice here, this is only 1 letter. We have just Y, and then the other one could be just X. So on all the previous ones, we have 2 letters, X and Y. On these, we don't. Well, this already says Y equals, so let's keep with our standard pattern, and you just put in 0, 1, 2. Well, if X is 0, what does Y equal? It tells you Y is -3. If X is 1, Y is, well, Y is -3. X is 2, Y is, you guessed it, -3. So if you plot those points, 0, -3, 1, -3, 2, -3, you'll notice it's following a nice little pattern here. It's that. It is a horizontal line. So if you have Y equals, these are horizontal. It's going to always be the points where Y is 3. So it could be -1, -1, -3, 0, -3, 3, -3, 4, -3, but it'll always be on that line. And then similarly, X is 5. So X is always 5. And Y can be anything you want. So it would be 5, 0, 5, 1, 5, 2. What am I doing? Let's try that again. 5, 1, 5, 0, 5, 2, 5, 3. And you get this, which is a vertical line. So if you have X equals just X, no Y, so if there's no Y in the equation and it's a linear equation, you have a vertical line. If there's no X in the equation and it's a linear equation, you have Y equals, it's a horizontal line. And that's it. But if you just want to find them, remember Y is going to be -3 if it's -3, and if you have X equals 5, you get X equals 5. So let me have you try one, and then we'll end this video. So try X equals 2. What would that look like? And then try Y equals 4. What would that look like? Okay, so hit pause and give them a shot. And you should have gotten that. You should have at a line crossing the Y-axis at 4, and a line crossing the X-axis at 2, vertically and horizontally. Thank you.